I went through more than 58 AI courses in the last 9 days, and 51 of them were basically the same thing, just packaged up differently. But the 7 that made it through are the ones I'd actually put on my own resume, and barely anyone has heard of the last 3 on the list. So in this video, I'm breaking down every one of them, what makes each one different, and the order to take them in based on where you want to end up. The first course is the one I'd send anyone who's never touched AI before, and it's the Machine Learning Specialization from Stanford and DeepLearning.AI on Coursera. But before I explain why this one wins, every course on this list had to pass 3 things. You had to finish with a project you could show to a hiring manager. The instructor had to actually work in AI right now, and the course had to make you build something real instead of just watching videos. Out of the 58 plus I went through, only 7 cleared all 3, and this one is the foundation for everything else on the list. The reason it sits at the top is that almost every technical AI course out there assumes you already know the basics, like what machine learning actually means, how a neural network even works, and why some problems need prediction while others need sorting. This one is where you learn all of that properly, without any of the basics being skipped. It's taught by Andrew Ng, who basically built modern AI education from the ground up. So when his name is on a credential, hiring managers actually pause to read it. The specialization is 3 courses long, takes about 2 months at around 10 hours a week, and costs roughly $100 to $300 total. If you pay for the certificate, by the end, you know how to build real AI models in Python. You understand why your models get things wrong and how to fix them, and you've built projects you can actually put on your resume. It has 4.8 million learners and a 4.9 out of 5 rating, which is rare for a technical course at this scale. And machine learning engineers coming out of programs like this earn a median total pay of around $161,000 a year in the US. If you only take one course off this entire list, take this one, because it's the one every other course on this list assumes you already know. That takes care of the foundation, but the AI that actually writes your Gemini responses, generates your Mid-Journey images, and powers every ChatGPT conversation you've ever had runs on something deeper than what Stanford covers. And that's where this next course comes in. Every time you use ChatGPT, Gemini, or Mid-Journey, what's running behind the scenes is deep learning, and almost nobody who uses these tools actually understands how they work. That's what this next course fixes, and it's called the Deep Learning Specialization on Coursera, taught by the same Andrew Ng from the first course. It's 5 courses, runs about 3 months at 10 hours a week, and by the end you understand the AI that reads images and the AI that powers every modern chatbot on your screen. The reason this one works, where a lot of deep learning tutorials fail, is that it doesn't just hand you code and expect you to figure out the rest. It walks you through why each piece of an AI model is shaped the way it is. So instead of copy-pasting from tutorials and hoping it works, you actually understand what you're building and why it works the way it does. You come out of this one able to walk into an interview and explain how modern AI actually thinks, which is exactly what hiring managers are looking for. The downside is that this one is significantly harder than the Stanford course, and without that foundation, you'll hit a wall about 3 weeks in, so take the Stanford course first. But both of these courses share the same problem, which is that you spend weeks on theory before you ever get to build anything that actually works. There's a reason so many people give up on deep learning courses within the first 2 weeks, and it's because every single one of them makes you sit through hours of math before you ever build something that works. Fast.ai's practical deep learning for coders flips that entirely, and it's completely free. In the first lesson, you build a real AI model that actually works, and only after you've seen it run does the course go back and explain the theory behind why it worked. It's taught by Jeremy Howard, who was the top-ranked competitor on Kaggle 2 years in a row, which in AI terms basically means he was the best at this in the world, and he built the course to teach deep learning the way he actually learned it. There are 9 lessons. Each one is about 90 minutes long, and you end up using the exact same tools that AI engineers use at real jobs every day, including PyTorch and Hugging Face. The alumni list includes people who went on to work at Google Brain, OpenAI, Adobe, Amazon, and Tesla. And the course videos have been viewed over 6 million times, which for a free course is ridiculous. The whole philosophy behind this course is that you don't need a PhD to build useful AI. You need to build things and then go back and understand them, which is the opposite of how almost every other AI course is structured. If you're someone who learns by doing and falls asleep in theory classes, this is the one that finally clicks. Fast.ai gets you building fast, but there's a side of AI that almost no practical course bothers to teach anymore, and skipping it is exactly what leaves self-taught engineers with holes in their knowledge that show up the moment they try to move into a real technical role. A lot of people who learn AI online end up with the same blind spot, which is that they know how to use modern tools but have no idea what's happening under the surface. And that gap shows up the second they sit in a technical interview and get asked how anything actually works. Harvard's CS50 Introduction to AI with Python closes that gap better than any other course I've tried. This one covers the older, more foundational side of AI that almost no other course bothers with anymore. Things like how AI makes decisions in a chess game, how it represents knowledge, how it reasons when it doesn't have all the information, and how it learns from trial and error the same way you'd train a dog. By the end, you've built projects like a tic-tac-toe engine that never loses. You can take the entire course for free on Harvard's site, or you can pay $299 on EDX if you want the verified certificate at the end. And both options give you access to exactly the same course material. The course runs 7 weeks, and it's taught by Brian Yu and Professor David Malin, the same team behind CS50 itself, which is the biggest computer science course on edX by a massive margin. The honest warning on this one is that CS50 is famous for being demanding, and the AI version is no easier than the original, so you need at least a year of Python experience before you start. Otherwise, you'll get stuck within the first 2 weeks. But if you can push through it, you come out with a foundation in AI fundamentals that most self-taught engineers never pick up, and that's what actually lets you hold your own in a technical conversation. Once you have the fundamentals handled, there's one corner of the AI job market that's paying more than any other right now, and it has its own course built by the biggest name in that space. Right now, the highest paying AI jobs on the market aren't asking you to build new models from the ground up. They're asking whether you can take an existing model and make it do what a specific business actually needs, and almost no course teaches that skill directly. The Hugging Face LLM course is the exception, and it's completely free. Hugging Face is the company that hosts basically every open source AI model worth using right now, including models from Meta, Mistral, Google, and Alibaba. And if you've ever used a free AI model online, there's a good chance it came from their hub. Their course used to focus on older text processing tools, but they rebuilt it into a full language model course that covers how modern AI chatbots actually work, how to train one on your own data, how to plug one into your own documents so it can answer questions from them, and how to put it online so other people can actually use it. Building a basic chatbot is easy, but training an AI model on your company's internal knowledge so it actually knows what you sell and how you sell it is the skill people are bidding up right now. And this is one of the only free courses that teaches it properly. There are 12 chapters, each one takes about 6 to 8 hours, and by the end, you've trained a real language model on your own data, built your own custom text processor, and put a working AI app online for other people to try. If you're specifically targeting a language model role or an applied AI role in the next year, this course should be at the top of your list right after the foundational ones, because this is the exact skill set companies are hiring for right now. Training a language model is one skill, but the full AI engineering toolkit is a completely different level, and that's what this next course is built to cover. There's a big difference between knowing AI and being the person a company actually hires to build AI systems, and that difference almost always comes down to the tools you've touched. The IBM AI Engineering Professional Certificate on Coursera is the one that bridges that gap. It's 13 courses long, takes around 4 to 6 months at 10 hours a week, and by the end, you've used almost every major tool an AI engineer actually touches in a real job, from PyTorch and TensorFlow to LangChain and Hugging Face. The reason this course lands here and not at the top is that it's overwhelming for beginners, and without the Stanford and deep learning courses first, the pace will destroy you. But once you have the basics down, this is the course that makes you actually employable. The curriculum is updated for 2026 to include everything the job market is asking for right now. It blends classic machine learning with modern Gen AI and LLMs, how long it takes, what it costs, what you'll actually build, and how to turn it into a standout portfolio that gets interviews. So by the end, you've got 2 big projects sitting on your GitHub, an AI that can look at images and understand what's in them, and a full AI app like the ones you use every day. Compared to a $12,000 boot camp that teaches half the same material, this certificate under a Coursera Plus subscription is an absurd value, which is exactly why it consistently shows up on hiring manager shortlists when they're filtering resumes. Every course on this list so far has been built for someone who wants to code, but the last one is for everyone else, and I think every working professional should take it regardless of their role. The biggest competitive threat in your workplace for the next 3 years isn't AI replacing your job, it's the person in the office next to you who understands AI. And and can make decisions with it while you're still trying to figure out what a neural network even is. Andrew Ng's AI for Everyone is the course that closes that gap, and it's the one I'd recommend to every manager, director, VP, marketer, PM, and ops lead sitting in that exact position right now. There's no code, no math, and no prerequisites, just Andrew Ng breaking down what AI can and can't do, how it actually fits into a business, when to use it, and when people are trying to sell you something that doesn't work. The course covers what terms like machine learning, deep learning, and neural networks actually mean in plain English, how to spot AI projects that are going to fail before you commit resources to them, how to structure an AI team, and how to think about ethics and job displacement honestly instead of pretending they're not issues. It takes about 7 hours to finish, it costs $49 for the certificate, and you can watch every video for free without paying a cent if you're a senior professional who's not planning to become an AI engineer, but needs to know enough to lead AI initiatives, make investment calls, or just not sound lost in strategy meetings. This course gives you a real edge for 7 hours of your life. And the course that sets up every other one on this list is the Stanford Machine Learning Specialization, and the cheapest way to take it is through Coursera Plus, which covers 4 of the 7 courses here under one yearly subscription. And the link is pinned at the top of the description if you want to start this weekend. And if you want to see which AI certifications actually land 6-figure jobs once you've taken these courses, I made a full breakdown you can watch right here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.